What if technology could anticipate your needs and assist you in real time? What if AI chatbots could revolutionize industries like finance and healthcare? To talk about all this and share his expertise, we have with us Mr. Puneet Chandok, the president of Microsoft India and South Asia, who's going to be telling us the future of AI and a lot more. Puneet, it's really a pleasure to have you with us on NDTV 24/7.
Pleasure to have this conversation. Thank you for doing it.
Puneet, from chatbots to Copilot, if you can tell us a little bit about the impact it's having on our lives.
First of all, co-pilots are advanced AI assistants. They're companions for you. They're almost like a second brain that works with you, gives you knowledge and information and expertise on your fingertips. They take away a lot of workload, grunt work that you're supposed to do, and make you a lot more productive, free up a lot of time, and give you time back to do strategic, more creative work and make you more effective.
And if for somebody new, who's new to AI or wants to use Copilot, how can they just simply start with it?
I think three things. First, as I said, it's an AI assistant for you, right? So use that as a companion to free up time so that you can do more productive work, you can do more creative work. Number two, deploy this across your team so that your teams are more productive. Like for example, a lot of my meetings get transcribed, all the actions get followed up so that your teams can uplift their productivity. And then across the organization, you can start reimagining processes with agents and co-pilots so that you can seamlessly integrate them into the workflow. There's more productivity, there's more efficiency for everybody.
And talking about innovation, what are you seeing in this space now? Anything exciting you want to share with us?
Listen, AI is the fourth platform shift we're seeing. We started with the PC client server era, we then had the internet, we then had the mobile cloud, and now we've got AI. And this is the most massive platform shift, at least I've seen in my life. And we've got a lot of these large language models and small language models being built. But there are three implications that are coming out for you and I and for everybody. Number one, there's more intelligence coming. More intelligence at our fingertips, more expertise, more judgment. We're truly manufacturing intelligence now with AI, so I think that's interesting. Second, more empathy is coming. Technology is not just for the sake of technology. This is technology that understands your context. My AI will be different from your AI, Ambika. Our co-pilots will be very distinct, and there'll be real empathy and personality there. And then finally, agency is coming. And agency is when they start acting with your permission, but not your involvement, right? So they get stuff done on your behalf. And 2025 is turning out to be the year of agents now. And so more intelligence, more empathy, and more agency coming.
With so much coming in, if I can ask you about the job market, what can we see in the next 5 years? Let me put it that way.
I think our jobs are already changing on us while we're not changing jobs. And we looked at some interesting LinkedIn data, which is 25% of the skills required for the same job, your job and my job, have changed in the last few years. And 65% of the skills required will change in the next few years. So our jobs are already changing. I think there are two or three implications. One, I think there'll be new jobs created. There are very interesting jobs being created to create data sets to train these models in India, which is fascinating. Second, I think our jobs will shift, right? This industrial era template that we use, which is study for 20 years and work for 30 years, I think that's changing. We all have to be lifelong learners. And that's why as Microsoft, we're committed. We're training 10 million people in India in the next few years. And by the way, we've trained already 2.4 million of them. 65% of them are women. 74% of them come from tier 2, tier 3 cities. So skilling and training is a big part of this. And I always say you will not lose jobs to AI, you lose jobs to people who know AI. So get started, start learning today.
I think it's a great job because it is the right time to learn, and there's so much to learn in that space. But talking about intuitive, when we look at Microsoft AI Copilot, if you can tell us a little bit, is it intuitive and accessible for all?
It's intuitive and accessible, right? 3 out of 4 knowledge workers in India today are using AI. People who use Copilots, and by the way, we've seen 10x growth in Copilots in the last 6 months. People who use Copilots are seeing 87% more productivity. 65% of them feel there's more quality that's coming in. The 800 customers today in India were using and building AI on Microsoft. So it's becoming real. The impact is very real and here and now. For every dollar that's being spent on AI today, there's 3.8x return. So the impact is real. My only push to everybody is get started now. Don't just dip your toes in the water. Get on with it now.
And when AI, how has it evolved? When it was met with skepticism to actually being used today now.
Like if I had a camera which could capture the emotion in the last 2 years, I think it started with a lot of I remember 2 years ago it started with people saying it's cute, right? It can make Christmas cards or Diwali cards.
Yeah,
small things. Small things, right? Then we moved to this phase where people were very skeptic saying, listen, this is going to rule the world and machines will take over. I think now we've landed at a place where there's real pragmatic conversations happening around value. Listen, how do we really deploy this technology to make ourselves more productive, drive more efficiency, drive more effectiveness, take waste out? Going back to the conversation we had around just cutting the cord between knowledge and agency, get first-year doctors, first-year lawyers, first-year journalists more productive. I think now we're having conversations which are more value-focused. And there are a set of use cases that are emerging which are more top-line numerator-focused, where companies are driving revenue streams, and lots of use cases which are more denominator, which are more efficiency, productivity focused. So I'm glad we've moved from skepticism to real pragmatic value now.
Yeah, and we're actually seeing that impact, right?
We're seeing real impact.
Okay, so we have a quick speed round, Puneet. What's the most significant benefit of using AI in business?
I think two things, right? Numerator, which is top line revenue growth. You can really drive more revenue streams. And then bottom line, which is more efficiency, more productivity, taking grunt and waste out of your system.
Okay. How do you think AI will change the job market in the next 5 years? Of course, we've answered that, so I'm not going to ask you that again. How do you ensure transparency and accountability in AI decision making?
I think three things as Microsoft. One, as we build our products, it's always we're thinking about security by default, by design, so it's not an afterthought. Number two, building a lot of these products and technologies with a set of principles like transparency, accountability, fairness. And then third, I think none of us have all the answers, so bringing the industry together, having real conversations. We've got a Secure Future initiative that we've launched, where we're bringing stakeholders together to really come together and figure this out together, right? So security by default and design, real transparency and principles, and then bringing everybody together to really get this right.
Just a last question on healthcare. You've really spoken about it, and I see you actively working also with the Polo hospitals. When we are talking about health for all, the role AI can play in really making a difference towards a healthier and happier country.
Absolutely, and healthcare and education are the two sectors that are crying for innovation today. And what we're doing with Apollo is building clinician co-pilots, which is going back to first-year doctors. Can we give them access to same information, expertise, and judgment, so that they can do the same intervention a 20th-year doctor is doing? Imagine how much more healthcare can we bring to our country at lower cost. And imagine if you take the grunt work out, the 20th-year doctors can do so much more value-adding work, right? So that is just the start. We're just getting started. Similarly, in education, we're building Shiksha Co-pilot for teachers so that they can do stuff that they were taking hours to do in minutes. So a lot more innovation coming in both in healthcare and innovation.
Which obviously leads, makes a huge impact to our country when we're looking at our country's growth, productivity. So looking forward to lots more exciting stuff in this space.
Absolutely. We're just getting started.
It's really a pleasure. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you, Ambika. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.